Hello everybody, welcome to the Sound Test Room. Today we are taking a Logic Pro for iPad and I'm gonna try and make an acoustic guitar session player. So a realistic kind of picked acoustic kind of thing. Now I was going to start with a blank project, so we'll hit this little plus button here and hit tracks and choose a keyboard player. So we only actually have 3 session players, but the power is incredible that what you can do after you've loaded one of the 3. So we're going to start with a keyboard player here. Okay, and just tap it again to load it, and we'll get a kind of a piano thing. Okay, so first of all, you see we've got a chord track going on. That's fine. I'm just going to change the progression. So I'm just going to tap on this, tap on it again, and when it says chord progressions, I'm just going to choose this last one here. Now, there's some really interesting stuff you can do with the chord progressions. Obviously, you can choose any chord you want. You can put any chord you like in anywhere. If you want to ungroup these chords, just tap on it and hit ungroup chords, and now they're all independent, and you can literally just tap on a chord anytime you like and go edit chord and change that chord for anything you want. Or you can also go down here and use Midi input and just play something on your keyboard or something, and it will change to that chord. But for the purposes of this, we can leave this progression exactly as it is. I don't even need to regroup it. It's fine. What I am going to do is switch on the cycle region and have this span over its 8 bars. I'm going to speed it up a little bit to about, I don't know, 105-ish, something like that. Let's see. There you go. That'll be fine, just so it's a bit quicker. Right, okay, so first of all, we want to be actually looking at the session player region. And I'm going to change the instrument. Now, a couple of ways we can do this. We can just tap on here, switch off change patch, but I'm going to go to where it says arpeggiated. Okay, now we'll get this kind of this arpeggiated pattern, but obviously it's played by a piano. Now what we can do is go in here, and where it says studio piano, we can just change the instrument up like this. We can close this and it'll get rid of the instrument. One of the easiest ways to do this is just to open the instrument browser here. So go instrument patches. We'll look at acoustic for a start off as a filter. And look, we've got acoustic guitar. So I'm going to use the stock, not the classical acoustic. I'm going to use the stock acoustic guitar. I've got replace switched on, so what will happen is I'll just tap it and it'll replace that Studio Grand with a acoustic guitar. So what we've got now is our session player playing this acoustic guitar, arpeggiated. We haven't done anything really to it, but it still sounds pretty good. Now, here's the cool thing. Because I want this to be like a more realistic acoustic, right? First of all, I'm just going to duplicate. So I'm going to select the track, obviously. I'm just going to duplicate it here. And I can put in a session player region, or I could just copy this one down by doing this. So I'll just grab this, drag it down, and now I've got 2 versions of exactly the same thing. So I'm going to choose this region here, open the edit for it. And for this, I'm going to go to where it says arpeggiated. I'm going to switch change patch off because I want to keep the acoustic guitar. Otherwise, it will change back to a piano or whatever. Or in our case, simple pad, which is a synth. Okay, so you can see now that this is a lot simpler, but it doesn't sound really great. If I solo this, it's just going to... It's pretty dull. But what I want this part to be the thumb part of a finger-picked bass sort of thing, when you strum down. So, first of all, I'm going to switch off the right hand. Oh, look, we've already got this. And I'm going to lower the range down. And I'm going to also decrease this range, because that will make a difference as well. So now I've got this. Okay, great. And I think I can actually afford to lower this down a bit more. And where it says root only, I am going to have root and octave. I could have root, fifth, and octave. I'm going to have root and octave. So now we'll get this effect. Okay, we could probably move up a little bit. Now you've got this note length and note start, right? So let's just turn the intensity up a bit so it's a little bit louder. Note start, you won't really hear this on this because, but you hear it's quicker now, and we can go a bit after as well. So that's quite a lot after. Then you have note length, so that's going to shorten it, and this will just make it longer, so it'll sustain over the previous note. But because it's a guitar, that's actually okay, so we can leave that around there. That's not a problem. Now we could tie notes, it doesn't really matter with this, but we'll just have the left hand on, which is this. It's fine, it don't make any difference really. So that's that for that. But when I bring back in, it sounds a lot nicer, right? And now you'll hear, if I drag this note start to say before, you'll notice a difference as well. So I'm gonna go to this region and increase the intensity. And just for the sake of this, I'll use the volume here. But now you see it does sound a little bit more kind of realistic. And this is the part, our top region is where we can make some really nice adjustments. So at the moment we've got fingerstyle sustain only. Well, let's have this as moderate. And increase the range a little bit. Let's add some fills in. But what's cool is our thumb note, or our bass note if you like, isn't changing because it's on a completely separate session player. Nice. So we could, with this one, turn off the bass. So all the bass has been dealt with by our second one here, and increase the range a little bit. And have the movement small range. And if it starts to get too busy, increase the fill amount, fill complexity. Let's go back to this one now, and remember our note start. Let's drag this 100%. Too much. So you can just basically mess around with that till it sounds a bit more human. Okay. Now, the cool thing is, of course, because this is a session player, we can split the regions. But what we'll do is, first of all, I'm going to just tap on one of these as well and hit group chords again. How do I do that? Was it long hold? Oh, no. I'm just going to select them all. So I'm going to just hit this and just select all these chords. Then tap on one of them. Nope. Take them off select. Tap on and choose group chord. So now I have group chords. It just means I can move them along easier. Then I've got my duplicate here, so I'm going to select these. Now I can't select the chord track as well, but I can select these. And because our duplicate is on, I'll just move these over like this. Okay, I'm going to turn a snap on as well, because at the moment it's not snapping into anything. So I'm going to have that snap. And let's just do this and make sure we're snapping in properly now. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to choose this, make sure this is on. I'm just going to move this over as well. So we've got two of the same. Let's bring it in a little bit so we can see what's going on. And I'm just going to move the range over so it plays this range now. So what we can do now is go into this region and start to make some adjustments to the complexity. Let's have the voicing to be full chord inversion for this. And let's increase the intensity a little bit for this one. Okay. So now bringing these two together, let's extend the range of the cycle. And this starts off quite simple, of course. In fact, if you want to, select that region and just decrease the complexity a little bit and the intensity. And now it'll be even simpler. So. Sounds really nice. So that's kind of the thing, but we can go a little bit further here. Let's pick this first one, for example. Now, when it comes to panning stuff with stereo or making things wider, you don't really want your bass end to be very wide. You don't want it to be, you want your bass to be basically mono in the center. Well, let's just first of all look at this bass section here. Let's solo it as well, and let's have a look at what's going on. So we've got a sampler. The sample is the instrument. By the way, you can change this to anything you like. If you've got really great AUV3 acoustic guitar stuff going and things like that, or brilliant, fantastic samples and stuff, you use that instead of the built-in acoustic guitar. You can use any instrument you want for the session player. It doesn't matter. You can change it either with the browser here, or you can, well, do what I did earlier and just delete that instrument and choose another one from here. But let's play this, and we've got a Space Designer, which is somebody. Let's play it. So we don't really want a lot of reverb on that, but I think what would be nice if we add in a Studio EQ channel EQ, that'd be fine. So let's have a look and increase the bass end. So it's a bit round here. Here we go. Nice. We can probably pull all that down as well. So that's nice and bassy now, but there's no effects going on it. It's nice. So with our top one here, so the picked bit sounds nicer now. And if you think that's too bassy for the acoustic guitar, of course, you can go in and adjust the range here. But I think that sounds okay. So this time we shall go to the top one here and go and have a look at what's going on with the effects. Same thing, maybe put a little bit of extra reverb in here for the top bit. And also a stereo spread. You can find that in Logic Pro. If we look at imaging, stereo spread. Now this is going to be quite loud. Actually, I'll stop it and add in the stereo spread here and open it up and just lower the in fact, I'll let you hear how it sounds as the thing, but there's some presets, but you can, if we open it up properly, we can lower the intensity and stuff, but it's going to be quite a lot louder. Listen. So you want to balance it and lower the intensity a little bit. And then another one that would sound really nice after this would be, we can just use the basic chorus. So if we look at modulation effects, these are just the built-in ones, chorus. Okay, so I think that's, and you can, like I said, you can go on and on. You can kind of make it more and more complex as the track progresses. So just as a finishing touch, we'll add in a bass player. I'll tap on that again. Now we've selected it. We'll add in a bass player here when it loads in. Right, okay. And this time I shall, I think, just have this for the second half. And this, you could kind of add percussion and stuff like that. So just on this second half, but just let's look at this. This is, at the moment, pop songwriter. I want this to be like an acoustic, so it roots upright. I'm going to give it a second to load in. I'm going to take off the chroma glow, which will automatically be loaded because it'll just blow up my CPU, because this is a pre-M-chip iPad. So we can take that off, don't need it. And let's see, we can mess around with the EQ, but to start this off, I don't want it to be too intense. So I'm going to have the melody as some notes, okay? No octaves, that's fine. Phrasing can be long, that's great. Lowest note, yeah, that's all right. Details, I'm going to put some slides in. I'm going to leave a line to root switched on. And some slaps, you know, where the bass note, you hit the double bass, jink, jink. It's not like slap bass, slightly different. And then humanize this as well. Maybe increase the dynamics a little bit. Tempo is standard, but you can slow it down, half time, etc. It's actually quite cool as slowing down half time and things, especially if you use it in a slightly different way. I'll show you. I'll show you in another video, but it wouldn't make sense in this one. We can keep the complexity for the start off quite simple, and the intensity can be quite, you know, high. We don't need to put a manual pattern in. Phrasing should be long. Yep, that's fine. No octaves, some notes, because you can just have the root note and it'll just be literally play the root, but we'll have some notes, and then you can add more notes, sort of thing, and you can have most notes, and it'll play lots of them. Right, so we'll just have some notes in for this, and let's just see how that sounds, shall we, from the beginning bit. And don't forget, it's not going to come until the second half, so. Nice, you hear those few extra notes here. And then, of course, what we could do is, I've got my duplicate selected, so I could just choose these three. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, choose those three. Hold and drag. And also drag the same chord progression over. But with this one here, we'll make it a little bit more busy. We'll kind of give it, we'll give it more notes and increase the complexity quite a lot. You see, it's gotten there. And we'll go and we'll have to go nuts. We'll have him sliding all over the place. Let's do that. And yeah, let's have a few more dead notes because they do sound quite nice. Dynamics, again, we can increase, leave the humanize as it is. Feels fine. It's going to either play slightly in front of or behind the beat. So that's fine. And with this one, we can leave, again, we can leave our acoustic thumb part pretty much as it is. Unless you wanted to do something like this, you could choose this one here. In fact, I'm going to just select cycle range for this one. with this one, I'm going to just maybe change up the voicing where it says add octave. Maybe we'll add a root a fifth and an octave, and it'll make it a little bit more busy. And that's fine. The intensity we can drop back a tiny bit. And for this one, which is our kind of our main kind of picky guitar type thing, we can really go to town on that. Just as an example, maybe have the complexity full on, and fill complexity we can increase a little bit more, and the fill amount we can have it go nuts as well. So you see it changing in real time. So now let's see how kind of that sounds. We'll let the thing run through a couple of times just to see how it sounds. And so the bass should be much busier, so should this really. So first thing I've noticed is this is way too busy. So let's go in and make this really simple. Let's just have this literally play the root note. And now this section, see, this section should sound much better. Let's take it from here. This still all sounds okay. Excellent stuff. And yeah, so we had just some, maybe a little bit of percussion just in this last section here. Let me just cycle this region selection there. So we'll just add in a percussionist. Let's have to see what we've got going on. So we have to do this with a drummer. Click on here, go to our drummer region. It's opened it up for us. So there it is, and open up the region, and where it says pop rock we can click on this, and where it says acoustic drummer at the top we choose percussionist. Let's see what we've got going on. Latin will probably sound quite nice with this, so we'll choose a Latin percussionist. We can regenerate the pattern, but it doesn't need to be complex. It can have a lot of instruments. You can take instruments out. Maybe don't want cowbell, but maybe want some clavs in there. Not a lot of fill amount going on. We don't really need to do that. All of this stuff we can leave in. Complexity, let's start with it being really low. You can have them play quite loud though. And let's just see how that sounds, with this percussion. Let's take it from, switch this off and take it from here. Okay, sounds nice. I think that sounds okay. And on you go. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, consider becoming a Patreon or making a donation of something to help support me and Joe here at the Sound Test Room. And I will see you later. I'll just let it play through and it'll kind of just fade out. Anyway, thanks very much, and awesome stuff. I think it's really great. I'm going to do more deep, because you can do so much with the session players. Like when you start using your own chords, these are just some progressions you get. But you could actually change the progression up here. I mean, you could go like, chord progressions, what we got. It's all going to be in C, because that's what we've got it in, C. You can change the key anytime you like, but let's maybe choose this one here, look, and this will slightly change, but it'll still fit in. You could start it off with a different progression even. It's all gonna work, but it'll all sound slightly different now. Anyway, brilliant. I'll see you guys later. Ta-ra.